Okay, welcome back. It's that part where we take a deeper look at the truth inside every fact. I'm your host, Jesse Lee Hammonds, digital media strategist for OAG Media. I'm also the owner of it. And so what are we going to do today? We're going to unpack a bold idea that's been floating around the head of Donald Leaney. I'll just call him that because that's a kind of a combination of Donald and Mussolini, because that's how he's trying to move these days, like a dictator or authoritarian. Definitely that by definition. Anyway, there's been talking about, in fact, he's been talking about America going back or taking America back to the economy of 1789 to 1913. Yeah, you heard that right. Back to the early republic where tariffs ruled the day and the government didn't rely on income tax. Now, on the surface, it might sound patriotic, independent, and nostalgic, and like, hey, cool, no taxes. Because I know I pay a lot anyway myself, or have over the years. But here's that part people don't talk about. That golden era of tariffs wasn't golden for everybody. Just like much like the good old days weren't the good old days for everybody. And it's not something we should be trying to repeat. Let's talk about the facts. Between 1789 and 1913, the federal government ran almost entirely on tariffs. That's a tax on imported goods. No income tax, no federal sales tax, nothing like that. And, many would say that it worked, sort of, because we made what we needed. The government was smaller. The world wasn't globalized yet. But there's a missing piece of this picture, and it's a big one, too. You see, from 1789 to 1865, the American economy was deeply dependent on slavery. Yeah. That's the missing piece right there. We're talking about 76 out of the 124 years. Cotton, sugar, rice, tobacco produced or was produced by enslaved people. Even after slavery, the abolishment of it, the exploitation continued. Through sharecropping. I remember my dad actually talking about sharecropping there. And we'll do another segment on sharecropping and what all these things meant. And something called convict leasing. And, that's still in place these days. Because if you're incarcerated, you're not covered by that 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery. And so, they could just, work you for free. And then, of course, the famous Jim and Jane Crow labor laws. So when someone says, let's go back to the way things were, the question becomes, go back for who? And go back where? See, tariffs worked back then because the economy was stacked with systems that made labor cheap or free. No Social Security was around at that time. No public safety nets. No Medicare. No federal medical programs, for that matter. It wasn't just an economic model. It was an exclusion model for particular people groups. Now, fast forward to today. We depend on a global supply chain. We don't manufacture everything here. That train has left the station. Tariffs are now would raise the price of everything from food to phones. And if other countries retaliated, oh my, our farmers, truckers, exporters, they'll all pay the price. And yeah, interestingly enough, a lot of them voted for Donalini. And boy, will they be surprised over the next few days, next few months. So again, that era might sound like strength, but it was built on inequality, on stolen labor, slave labor, on systems designed to keep certain people locked out, excluded, marginalized. So here's the part we shouldn't ignore. You can't build a just future by going backward into an unjust past. Let me say that again. You can't build a just future by going backward into an unjust past. You just can't do it. It doesn't add up. It's not about being anti-American or anything like that. It's about being honest. And if we want real solutions for today's economy, we have to deal with it all of it in reality, not nostalgia, not being romantic about it or anything like that. Those days are gone. Let's move on. So, as we land the plane here, if this made you pause, made you think, or maybe just gave you something, a better way to break it down with someone else, then please consider sharing this podcast. Tag somebody. Start a conversation with them. A lot of us are on our phones for one reason or the other throughout the whole day. just yakking it up or texting it up or something like that. Meanwhile, the country's burning. This is real. This is not a drill. This is not a drill. Everybody can do something. Our brother Cory Booker stood on the floor and laid it all out there for 25 hours and 5 minutes. Everybody can't do that. Everybody shouldn't do that. But everybody can do something. Do something. I think the famous philosopher Michelle Obama said that. Do something. Now, with that said, I'm going to be doing a few things that I'm putting together, and it'll be made available to you probably sometime a little bit later on this month there. And that is a blog and a newsletter. But you can go to it's thatpart.com right now and check out some of the things that are already there. But we're going to be ramping things up and going to be speaking out and standing on business going forward here. That's something that I'm going to do. So you can check it out at itsthatpart.com. There'll be a blog there and the newsletter entitled The Nugget for more truth in every fact. So until next time, be aware and stay awake.